if I may address you that way, do you believe in the rule of law?
Yes.
Okay, so parole is a very specific concept in the law here in the United States of America that is supposed to be done on a case-by-case basis. That has been wiped out by fiat without passing a law to change the law that enabled parole back in 1954. They have been breaking the law. 80,000 Afghans came in, all waived in via, virtually all waived in via parole. So in other words, the reason illegal entries, as you've been saying, have been going down is because they've ignored the law. So you want us to be a lawless country, is what we're hearing from you. By the way, from the other side, that fear-mongering conservative who has been talking about this regularly is Mayor Adams from New York City, that his city is being destroyed. His quote, not mine. The ranking member talks about no government witness that we've heard from. Oh, yes, we have. We heard from Mayorkas back in July. We heard from the FBI 2 weeks prior to that from Mr. Ray. We heard from Sheriff Mark Daniels from Arizona. Let's share a couple quotes. FBI Director Ray, we are seeing all sorts of very serious threats that come from across the border. He closed by saying, it is becoming more and more of a priority for us. Sheriff Mark Daniels, in regards to fentanyl, the border is not effectively managed right now, and until it is, the cartels, they are the winner of this. I asked Secretary Mayorkas about that. Who's telling the truth? FBI Director Ray or you? He wouldn't answer the question. I asked him, who's telling the truth? Sheriff Mark Daniels, who is seeing the fentanyl flowing in since January 20th of 2021 in numbers that have skyrocketed, and Secretary Mayorkas says, no, there's not a problem here. Who's telling the truth? He wouldn't answer the question. It's this whole approach that we're hearing, there's nothing to see. For those of you a certain age like me, you'll recognize it as the Sergeant Schultz approach. I see nothing. For those of you that are a little bit younger than I, you'll recognize it as the Harry Potter story with the Ministry of Magic. Mr. Marino, it is said that we have done nothing here. The House of Representatives passed H.R. 2. We have not proposed solutions. Is H.R. 2 a solution to the border crisis that we have?
Yes, it is. It restores a layered approach overall to border security and immigration enforcement. It restores law and order. As I previously said, the major causation of this crisis has been the Biden administration's abandonment of law and order. And we are seeing this perfect storm of poor policies at the federal level to the local level. Poor policies, abandoning law and order at the federal level, and then it's exploiting the poor policies of abandoning law and order in sanctuary cities. And it's leading to chaos. The one thing that this Biden administration has proven to us is that when you remove all structure through law and order, it results in chaos.
Mr. Chairman, I want to highlight here for the American public that may be watching at this point, this body has passed legislation to secure the border, to bring a solution forward. Mr. Bensman, I really appreciate that Representative Biggs brought up the Darien Gap. I was there a little over 2 years ago. There were lots of people coming through there at that point. The people in Bajo Chiquito, a little Indian village right on the edge of the Darien Gap, were talking about being destabilized. I have a text from the last couple days from someone who is down there. The scene is truly apocalyptic. Bajo Chiquito is completely overrun. Thousands. They had about 500 when I was there that had rolled through that day, and they viewed it as destabilizing. Thousands now, possibly more arriving every second. Is this destabilizing the country of Panama?
Actually, Panama has a policy in place called controlled flow. So they are moving all of those migrants through into Costa Rica as fast as possible by bus so that They do not destabilize the country. They've always done that. Costa Rica does the same thing. They essentially, the governments are the smugglers in that case. They are moving them through rather quickly. However, the numbers that are passing through right now, I don't know. I don't think we've seen anything like this particular number right now that's happening, that's going through. It will certainly overwhelm the Panamanian and Costa Rican capacity to move them through like normal.
So they send them here.
They're all coming here.
I yield.
Everyone's coming here.
Thank you. Gentleman's time has expired. Mr. Nadler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Since